Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Naram Jaiva Narottamam
Naram Jaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim.
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu
Ashtaprayeshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam
Nityam Bhagavate Sevayam
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate
Bhaktin Bhavatirnaistiti
Bhaktin
Kṛṣṇāya Vāsudevaya
Kṛṣṇāya Vāsudeva
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Cha
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govinda.
Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, text number 10. 2.4.10. The canto name is The Cosmic Manifestation and the chapter name is The Process of Creation. So please repeat the sloka behind me. Vicikitsitam etan me
Vicikitsitam
bravītu bhagavān yathā
yathā
śābde brahmaṇi niṣṇātaḥ
śābde
parasmiṁś bhavān khalu.
bhavān.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Vicikitsitam, doubtful inquiry. Etan, this. Me, of me. Bravītu, just clear up. Bhagavān, powerful like the God. Yathā,
powerful like that.
as much as. śābde, sound transcendental. brahmaṇi, Vedic literature. niṣṇātaḥ, fully realized. parasmiṁś, in transcendence. Cha, also. bhavān, your good self. Kṛṣṇa, as a matter of fact. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanavanda A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, please repeat behind me. Kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned
You are not only
in the Vedic literatures
in the Vedic
and self-realized in transcendence,
and self,
but are also
but are
a great devotee of the Lord,
a great devotee
and are therefore
and are there
as good as the personality of Godhead.
as good
Purport. In the Brahma-saṁhitā, it is said that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Govinda, the personality of Godhead, although one without a second, is infallibly expanded by innumerable forms, non-different from one another. And although he is the original person, he is still even young with permanent youthful energy. He is very difficult to know simply by learning the transcendental science of the Vedas, but he is very easily realized by his pure devotees. The expansions of different forms of the Lord, as from Kṛṣṇa as to Baladeva to Saṅkarṣaṇa, from Saṅkarṣaṇa to Vāsudeva, from Vāsudeva to Aniruddha, from Aniruddha to Pradyumna, and then again to the second Saṅkarṣaṇa, and from him the Narayana, Puruṣavataras, and innumerable other forms which are compared to the constant flowing to the uncountable waves of a river, are all one and the same. They are like lamps of equal power which kindle from one lamp to another. That is the transcendental potency of the Lord. The Vedas says that he is so complete that even though the whole complete identity emanates from him, he still remains the same complete whole. Purnasya purnam adaya purnam eva vasistayate. As such, there is no validity in a material conception of life produced by the mental speculators. Thus, he remains always a mystery for the mundane scholars. Even if he is vastly learned in the Vedic literature, Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam ātma-bhaktau. Therefore, the Lord is beyond the limit of conception for mundane learned scholars, philosophers, or scientists. He is easily understandable for the pure devotee, because the Lord declares in the Bhagavad-gītā 18.54 that after surpassing the stage of knowledge, when one is able to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, then only can one know that the true nature of the Lord. One cannot have any clear conception of the Lord or his holy name, form, attributes, pastimes, etc., unless one is engaged in his transcendental loving service. The statement of the Bhagavad-gītā that one must first of all surrender unto the Lord, being freed from all other engagements, means that one must become a pure unconditional devotee of the Lord. Only then can one know him by the strength of the devotional service. Maharaja Parikshit admits in the previous verse that Lord is inconceivable even for the greatest learned scholars. Why then should he again request Sukadeva Goswami to clarify his insufficient knowledge about the Lord? The reason is clear. Not only was Sukadeva Goswami vastly learned in the Vedic literature, but he was also a great self-realized soul and a powerful devotee of the Lord. A powerful devotee of the Lord is, by the grace of the Lord, more than the Lord himself. The personality of Godhead, Sri Ramachandra, attempted to bridge the Indian Ocean to reach the island of Lanka, but Sri Hanumanji, the unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead, could cross the ocean simply by jumping over it. The Lord is so merciful upon his pure devotee that he presents his beloved devotee as more powerful than himself. The Lord expressed himself to be unable to save Durvasa Muni, although the Muni was so powerful that he could reach the Lord directly under material conditions. But Durvasa Muni was saved by Maharaja Ambarisha, a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, not only is a devotee of the Lord more powerful than the Lord, but also worship of the devotee is considered more effective than direct worship of the Lord. Mad Bhakta Puja Bhayatiga. The conclusion is therefore that a serious devotee must first approach a spiritual master who not only is well versed in Vedic literature but is also a great devotee with factual revelation of the Lord and his different energies. Without the help of such a devotee spiritual master, one cannot make progress in the transcendental science of the Lord. And a bona fide spiritual master like Sukadeva Goswami does not speak about the Lord only in the matter of his internal potencies, but also explains how he associates with his external potencies. The Lord pastime in the internal potency are displayed in his activities in Vrindavana, but the working of his external potency are directed in his features of Karanadakshayi Vishnu, Garbhadakshayi Vishnu, and Shiradakshayi Vishnu. Srila Vishnavati Chakravarti offers his good counsel to the interested Vaisnavas when he says that they should not be interested in hearing only about the Lord's activities like Rasalila, but must be cleanly interested in his pastimes, in his features of the Puruṣavataras in connection with Srishti Tattva, creational function. Following the examples of Maharaja Parikshit, the ideal disciple of the Sukadeva Goswami, the ideal spiritual master. Om Dasa. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Shalake Chakshul Mritam Jnana Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Kṛṣṇa Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Deshatarani Jai Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today's sloka, it is Parikshit Maharaj, it is inquiring more about the Lord. Whatever his doubts, he is clearly clarifying with Sukadeva Goswami. And he is glorifying Sukadeva Goswami because he is the learned person. He learned in the Vedic literature. All the Vedic literatures he is aware. And also he is a self-realized soul in the transcendence. And also he is a great devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he is saying that if the person is a great devotee of the Lord, that person is as good as he is the personality of Godhead. Why here it is mentioned that the devotee of the Lord is as good as the personality of Godhead? Because, see, with the Lord's mission to this material world, only one thing. The first thing is, he's saying that paritranaya sadhunam. So, to protect the devotees, he is appearing in this material world. So that is the primary mission for the Lord, to come into this material world to take the different avatars. But the devotees, what is the activities of the devotees? So they are doing the devotional activities, what Lord wanted to do, because Lord wanted to save the paritranaya sadhunam, to save the devotees of the Lord, to save the sadhus in this material world. But in this world, because of our false ego and less intelligence and the flickering mind, all the living entities, or especially the human beings, they are all, because other living entities, they are in the gradual progression in their life to the next higher species. But the human being, the next higher level is, there are multiple levels. The one is, they can get into the upper planetary system as a living entity within this material world, and otherwise they can go back to Godhead, which is permanent. So within this material world, if they are living, if they are going, even though in the higher planetary system, they have to be within this material world only. They cannot go back to Godhead. Even if they go to the Satya Loka, that we discussed already. So why the pure devotees, they are called as good as God, because they are doing what Lord wanted to do. They are taking the service of the Lord. Because Lord wanted to protect the devotees, but the pure devotees of the Lord in this material world, their goal is to make others, a miscreants, a person who is in the ignorance, to turn that person into a devotee of the Lord. So that is the mission of the Lord. So that mission is that's why the Lord's devotees, we are calling them, is greater than the Lord's. Because that is just for a sake of telling, because Lord is giving that much position to the pure devotees of the Lord, who is the bona fide pure devotee, because he is taking the mission of, he is taking the pains of the Lord. He is taking whatever the Lord is supposed to do, Lord's duty, he is taking part of that. So that is the reason. So he is taking that much, he is keeping in that much. The devotee of the Lord is compared as much as he is a personality, as good as he is the personality of Godhead. Because he is making, because by the mercy of the Lord only he is making, but he is enduring for that. That is a pure devotional service. What is a pure devotional service means? It is not just we are doing the puja, that is chanting, it is a pure devotional service. Pure devotional service means spread the Lord's glories. Is Narada Muni is the pure devotee of the Lord. Why Narada Muni is glorifying all over the places of Bhagavatam, many places, and he was a spiritual master for many pure devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj, many, and for the Vāsudeva. So how Narada Muni is glorified in multiple places? Because he is traveling all over the places and he is spreading the glories of the Lord. So that is the reason he is a pure devotee of the Lord. We are discussing about Narada Muni, and Narada Muni is in our current way of modern science and the modern people, when they are imitating, when they are preparing some serials about the Lord, what they are putting, as a, he is like a miscreant person. Mischief, he is always doing the mischief. No, he is not he's a pure devotee of the Narada Muni. Whatever he showed in the serials of the Kṛṣṇa serial or some other serial, they are showing him as a some mischievous person, but he is not a mischievous person. He is executing the order of the Lord. He is just spreading the knowledge about the Lord to all over the places, all over the three worlds. He is traveling and he is spreading the knowledge. Even he is going and speaking with the demons also. There also he is always there. Also he is none other than Narada Muni. Go and speak about Narayana in front of the demon also. Even the demons who are not liking the Narayana, but still Narada Muni go in front of them and he chant the holy name of the Lord. That is the power of Narada Muni. And he is the great devotee of the Lord. So he is the great devotee of the Lord. So that is the reason he is as good as the pure devotee of the Lord. He is a personality of Godhead. And in Brahma-saṁhitā, it is the Brahma-saṁhitā also it is mentioned. It is Brahma-saṁhitā, it is Brahma glorifying the Lord, because he is taking so much of multiple avatars, multiple different expansions, but each expansion even taking, there is no difference between one expansion to other expansion. Yes, all are great potencies. So there is an analogy. If you wanted to lit the multiple lamps, if you use the original one lamp, first you are lighting the one lamp, and by using the one lamp, you are lighting all the other lamps. So now, if you keep all the lamps together, how can you differentiate? This is the first lamp, this is the second lamp, this is the third lamp. We cannot differentiate, because all the lamps giving the same level of flame. That is, the light will be the same. There is no difference in the light. So similar way, even though the Lord expands himself in the multiple forms, there is no difference. There is no difference in his potencies, his energies. So that is the way it is explained, the analogy. And Lord is also, we are calling him as a achintya. Achintya means inconceivable. So we cannot conceive, right? Lord will be like this only. We cannot conceive like that. And also Lord's potency is unlimited. And unlimited means we cannot limit the Lord. Okay, he is only this much. We cannot limit that, because Lord is unlimited. He is expanded. The n number of universes, n number of different universes are there in the spiritual world also. He is there in the material world also. He is expanding through his internal potency, and the external potency also is showing here. So all the places is spreaded all over the places. So we cannot understand the Lord's potency. So here, and also in Bhagavad-gītā, Kṛṣṇa himself is saying that if you go and read just without any understanding of the Lord, without the goal, I wanted to read the literatures in the challengeful mood. I'm also a scholar in the Sanskrit. Let me read and understand what is said in the scriptures. Then criticizing the scriptures. Those kind of person, they cannot understand the Lord, because Lord is, even though the Lord is, we cannot, inconceivable. Lord is inconceivable, but he is conceivable for the devotees. So that's the reason the devotees are glorified more. So in 18.54 in Bhagavad-gītā, Kṛṣṇa himself is saying, Brahma-bhūtaha prasannātma na sochati na kāṅśati samasarveshu bhūteshu maksbhaktim labate param. So he is saying that one who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equal disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. So he is talking about the pure devotees of the Lord. So Brahma-bhūta prasannātma. So who realized the Brahman, Supreme Brahman, who knows that transcendental activities, that person he is in the joyful mood. He will be in the joyful. And he lament for anything. He never lament for anything. And he never desire for anything. He will never desire for anything. He never worry for whether it is a loss or it is a gain. He will equally, he will take care of both the things. If it is a loss, it is a gain. He won't lament, he won't affected by those things. So he is always, his only thing is, he want to do the service to the Supreme Lord in any situation. So that is the bhakta, that is the real qualities of the pure devotees of the Lord. So that kind of devotee can understand the Supreme Lord, because he is doing the pure devotional service in not worrying about his position, not worrying about anything for him. He's not desiring for anything for sense gratification for himself, and he's just thinking about how can I serve the Lord. So that is the person, is a pure devotional service. So there is an analogy Prabhupada giving for this. It is like it is a poisonous snake. If you take the poisonous snake, if you remove the poison from the snake and if you leave the snake, even though the snake variety is poisonous, if the poison is removed, then that snake is not harmful. Even though the snake bite, the person won't die, other person won't die. So that poisonous, that kind of snake is compared with the devotees, because devotees of the Lord is if the snake poison is removed, that is compared with the devotees. What is the poison in the devotees which got removed? That is the ego. That is the sense gratification. Those kind of activities which are poisons in the devotee, the false ego, the less intelligence, and the sense gratification, selfishness, all those things are already removed. Those kind of poisons are already removed from the devotee. So that devotee is compared with the snake, with the poisonous snake, but still which are removed from him. So there is no harm to the society. How the poisonous snake, if it is removed, there is no harm for the society. So this devotee also, which is all the other, his sense gratification mood and his selfishness mood and his desires, everything got removed. It got uprooted. So that is the reason that person also not harmful to the society, and he will think about only how can I do the devotional service. That person, that can be that situation. That is the reason that person is called the pure devotee of the Lord. He can only understand about the Lord. And even in 18.55, the next sloka in Bhagavad-gītā, Kṛṣṇa is again saying that Bhaktya mam abhijanadi. So that means only devotees can understand me. So he is saying that Bhaktya mam abhijanadi. One can understand me as I am, as a supreme personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. That is the meaning. Bhaktya mam abhijanadi. Only through devotional service one can understand me. Not just reading the Vedic scriptures, not reading the Bhagavad-gītā and Bhagavatam, without having any tinge of devotional service, devotional attitude in their heart. Just they are just for the sake of scholar. I want to be a scholar. I wanted to, after scholaring, I wanted to know in the challenging mood. Let me see. So what is the quality of the Lord? Let me see. In that mood, if someone read the scriptures, they cannot understand the Lord, because only this devotional service only we can understand the Lord. So this is the verdict of the Bhagavad-gītā also. Even Lord himself is saying that only by the devotional service he can be conceivable. Otherwise, it is not possible at all. And he's in Purport, Prabhupada is explaining that. So even though Maharaja Parikshit is not a less person, okay, he's also a devotee of the Lord. But when he meet Sukadeva Goswami, because Maharaja Parikshit, he was as a king. So that means he had the little affectionate to the material things, because he has to take care of the kingdom. Even though he was a devotee of the Lord, even though he was the king, he was detached from that kingdom, because that's the reason he was able to leave the kingdom immediately. But still, what he was doing, he was asking the pure devotee, another pure devotee like Sukadeva Goswami, because the knowledge what he had is the insufficient for him, because Sukadeva Goswami is by birth onwards, he was a devotee of the Lord, and he was spreading the Lord's glories all over the places. This is the pure devotee. That's the reason he wanted to hear from the pure devotee of the Lord, so that the heart will be changed in his whatever whatever less in his intelligence or less in his knowledge, that knowledge can be fulfilled. The insufficient knowledge can be fulfilled by this pure devotees of the Lord. That is the reason he is approaching a pure devotee. So this is the way we also need to approach a pure devotee of the Lord. It is not just like, okay, I know how to read English, how to read this language, Sanskrit. Let me read, let me understand. Lord cannot be understand. And Lord also mercifully, Lord is he is the great potency. He has the superpower. Nobody can beyond the Lord. But he wanted to glorify his devotees. That's the reason Prabhupada giving the example of Hanumanji and the Ambarish Maharaj. See, Hanuman, when during the Ramayana time, see, Lord has the potency, he can do anything. But Lord wanted to be, because he took that avatara, Gunavatara, that is Gunavatara, he wanted to exhibit his avatars. He don't wanted to show his superpower. So that's the reason, even though Lord has all the powers, more than, and because Hanuman is just a devotee of the Lord. So Lord has the more power than Hanuman. But still, he wanted to glorify the Hanuman. That's the reason Hanuman jumped. It is mentioned there, Hanuman jumped from Rameshwaram to Lanka. In one jump, he jumped to that place. So that is, he wanted to show, to glorify his devotee. That's than him. That's the reason Lord showed the Hanuman in front. And then the Ambarish Maharaj pastime, when Durvasa Muni cursed Ambarish Maharaj, that time also, see, Durvasa Muni is the great devotee. He is also a great power. He is also a great power. He has also great power, because in the material, even though he is in the material world, he was able to reach up. He was able to reach Brahma-loka. He went to Brahma. He went to Shiva. He went to Vishnu also. He was able to go to Vaikuntha-loka also, till, because Vishnu is residing in Vaikuntha-loka. He was able to go till that place. He was seeking the help from them. He has that much power. For us, it is not possible to go. But still, he has that much powerful person. He was able to go and ask the help. But there also, Lord said, I cannot do anything. My devotee, if he has the mercy, then you will be sustained. So that is the answer he was giving. Then he was coming and surrendering and in front of Ambarish Maharaj. Then he got relieved, because Ambarish Maharaj, because the devotees are so merciful. The devotees are more merciful than the Lord. That's the way it was said that. That's the reason devotees are glorified like anything. The Lord is taking care of the devotees so much. Why? Because the devotees are more merciful than the Lord. Because to exhibit that, only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. See, all the avatars, Lord came with a weapon. He came with the Rama Avatara, he came with a arrow and bow and arrow. And other avatars, the Parshurama Avatara, he came with the axe. So like that, the many avatars, all the avatars, if you see, Lord will come with a weapon. And Narasimha Avatara, he came with nails to kill the person. So all the avatars, he came with some other things. But when he came as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is a very merciful avatara. In that avatara, what is the weapon? The weapon is the only chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The weapon is only the Maha Mantra. With the weapon he came. Why? Because he has so much. He came as a devotee. So devotee is more merciful. He want to exhibit, my devotees are more merciful than me. That's the reason. So as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he exhibit, the weapon is the chanting the holy name of the Lord and the Maha Mantras. Maha Mantra, the weapon he used. So that is the reason the Lord, even though Lord is worshipable, and Shiva also saying in Padma Purana, Aradhanam Sarveshu Vishnu Aradhanam Param. So the Vishnu Aradhanam is topmost. All the other Aradhanas, Vishnu Aradhana is Param. Other than, means beyond that, and doing a service to the devotees of Vishnu, that is more than that, more than anything. So that is the way the devotees are always, it is above, one step above the Lord. Lord is giving the position one step above him for the devotees of the Lord. So that is the reason it is in this sloka, it is mentioned that he is as good as God. So we have to understand, we have to realize that only devotional service, through devotional service, we can understand the Lord. That devotional service, how can we do? Under a bona fide, under the guidance of a spiritual master. Why we need to read a spiritual master? Because spiritual master is a pure devotee of the Lord. Only through the pure devotee, we can understand the devotional service. We can do the devotional service. through which we can understand the Lord, we can go back to Godhead. So from this sloka, we can understand pure devotees of the Lord is as good as the personality of Godhead. From him, we need to learn the Vedic scriptures and we need to understand fully, and we can also become a pure devotee. Maybe it may not be in this birth, maybe the upcoming births we can become a pure devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.